Welcome to the seaside. It's a glorious day here at Circuit Zandvoort. At least it was a while ago, because the sunny conditions have started to cloud over. There is rain in the air, but we are getting ready for race 3 of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. You can see the cars on the grid, the drivers fairly eager to get things going before the rain starts to fall. We are here at Zandvoort for round 2 of the season. We are part of the DTM package and we are really excited for race 3 of the season. It's Niels Langeveld who scores his first ever pole position in his 3rd ever race in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Great to have him here, the local driver on pole position, but it's another Dutch driver alongside him, Dirk Schouten for Q1 Track Racing, our newest winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. For those of you who joined us at Spa, you saw him take his first win. But there's a new kid on the block, the legendary Calais Rovanpera, here for Red Ant Racing, the driver who is a 2-time World Rally Champion, the current World Rally Champion, joining Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux for his first ever circuit race, and he's already upsetting the establishment, qualifying 3rd for his first ever race in this series. Domas Radonis is 4th on the grid and Paul Meyer is 5th, the driver who had to chase Dirk Schouten at Spa-Francorchamps in race 2. So last time you saw us, it was at Spa-Francorchamps. It was a win in the first race for Benjamin Pack, and he had a very clear win in that race. But in the second race, he had a bit of contact, he spun, he got collected by Sam Yongyan, and subsequently was deemed to be at fault. He picked up a couple of penalty points, and as a result, he also got a 5-place grid penalty for this race, which puts him in the middle of the pack. In race 2 at Spa-Francorchamps, it was Dirk Schouten who got into the lead. He then received a 5-second time penalty, and with just 8 minutes remaining of the race, somehow pulled up a gap that was bigger than 5 seconds, thus beating Paul Meyer in 2nd place and holding on to the win, taking his first ever win. There is Sam Yongyan, one of the real up-and-coming superstars in Porsche Carrera Cup racing. His local track, although up until now he's only ever driven it in a Mazda MX-5, so something a little bit different here. Kobe Powell's in the number 22 car. He is in the Rookie Championship. More than just being in it, he's leading the Rookie Championship. He has 41 points over Walter Zvierdris, who is 2nd with 30 points. So 11-point lead for Cobra Powers in the Rookie Championship. It's a bit closer than that, though. In the overall championship, Dirk Schouten is tied with Robin Knudsen with 32 points. Just 4 points behind them is Paul Meyer with 28 points. And 4th in the championship is Benjamin Pack with 26. Benjamin Pack very much fancying his chances in the championship this year, and with his performance at Spa looking like a contender, but he's going to really struggle mid-pack here at Zandvoort in this, the 3rd race of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. If you're new to Porsche, there is nothing like it. This racing is hard and fast. It is pure energy. It is 30 minutes plus 1 lap of flat-out racing. All the cars are identical. They're all Porsche 911s based on the 992 generation, limited to what they're allowed to do to the cars. So all pretty well identical. It's a 30-minute race, absolutely flat out. No pit stops, no driver changes, no balance of performance, giving it everything from beginning to end. An awful lot of pressure on the shoulders of Niels Langeveld on that pole position. We've got a massive crowd in here who've been witnessing some excellent racing this weekend so far. Have we saved the best to last? That may well be the case. The cars now Engines firing, the cars are rolling. We're starting our formation lap here at Circuit Zandvoort. It is a circuit that is 4.259 kilometers around. That equates to about 2.646 miles. 14 turns, 10 to the left and 4 to the right. The track is characterized by the massive banking of turns 3 and 14. Let's have a look at the grid. And it is Niels Langeveld who starts on pole position with Dirk Schouten alongside Kalle Rovanperä and Domas Radonis on row 2. On row 3 of the grid, Paul Meyer, Robin Knudsen, so much talent at the front of the pack here. Then on row 4 of the grid, Sasha Norden, keep an eye on him, and Colin Berninghausen is also racing in Carrera Cup Germany this weekend. Sam Yong-Yan, he'll be making progress, as will Koba Powells from row 5. On row 6, Benjamin Pack with that penalty with Jurin de Back for company. Volta Zviedris and Thomas Kangro line up on row 7. And on row 8 of the grid, Draker Janssen didn't get a race at Spa because of an accident, and Niels Troost in the Pro-Am category. Then is Nick Ho on row 9 with Alex Ryman. He's so rapid there alongside Jules Grau, and Ziad Geris line up on row 10. On row 11, Mike Rosenberg and Yanni Kakea. And then bringing up the rear of the pack is Ralph Poplars in the number 36 car. Had a difficult time in qualifying, will be looking to make up for it. So a lot of talent scattered up and down the grid in this category, in this series. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, one of the real up-and-coming series. Porsche racing at its best in their 12th season on these identical cars. So, with temperatures dropping a bit here, the air temperature down to 16 degrees centigrade. The track is at 25.7 and cooling. It's pretty windy. You can see the flags are blowing there. The drivers will need to get the heat into the tyres and into the brakes. This 14-turn circuit, 2 mega banked corners. Turn 3 with 19 degrees of banking, and then turn 14, the Arie Luijendijk turn, named after the 2 times Indy 500 Dutch winner, Arie Luijendijk. Out of turn 13, where the cars are now, if they want to get a good exit out of there, they can then take turn 14 absolutely flat out at something like 7,800 RPM on the cars to try and blast past on the pit straight heading in towards turn 1. The banked turn 14 effectively extending that pit straight for the cars so they can get a good run in towards turn 1, the corner that is called Tarzan, and make a challenge for position. It all sounds very easy, but it isn't in these cars that are all absolutely identical. So the cars just coming round to finish their formation lap, and very shortly they will be lining up on the grid, getting ready for this, the 3rd race of the season. So the driver on pole position, Niels Langeveld, will not want to be stationary for too long. He'll want to be sat there for a minimum amount of time as the tyres are cooling down. He'll be hoping that the back of the grid forms up nice and quickly there. Out on the pit straight, the cars that will be carrying 252 kilometers an hour. That's the kind of speed they'll be going in 6th gear as they go into turn 1, which is the Tarzan turn. So the last few cars just getting into position. The temperature dropping. This is going to be something spectacular. Car number 69, 3rd on the grid, Kalle Rovanperä, the 2 times and current World Rally Champion, the youngest ever World Rally Champion, here to upset the establishment. Dirk Schouten, 2nd on the grid with the very vocal fan club. Niels Langeveld with all the pressure on his shoulders. 5 red lights on, 5 red lights off. Domas Radonis has not got away. We've got problems. This is going to bring out a stoppage. He's being collected. I think that was Thomas Kangro that's gone into the back of him. So Domas Radonis just didn't get away when the lights went out. There he is up against the pit wall. You can see the car is absolutely shattered. This is almost certainly going to be a red flag. It has to be. So the cars are up onto turn 3. There's the red flag. So the cars are going to be brought back to a stop. This is going to take a little bit of clearing up. So Domas Radonis, Nick Ho was the other one who was involved there. I need to just check who else got involved. I thought it might have been Thomas Cangro, certainly one of the red cars. So everything's going to be brought back to a stop. Absolute nightmare. Every driver's worst nightmare. Stalling or not getting away on the grid. Yes, I think that is the remnants of the Thomas Cangro car for Porsche Estonia that has got involved. And a lot of devastated drivers, an awful lot of damage as well. So the red flags are out. Nick Ho. Car pointing in the wrong direction, car number 98. It's that nightmare scenario where the car just doesn't get off the grid. Oh, gosh, a lot of damage, a wrecked wheel, a tyre that is part of the company with it, a lot of body work. GP Elite, who run the number 5 car of Domas Radonis, who are a local team. A massive team, great team. Look at that. That is buried into the grating on the track. Might need some extra equipment to get that bit of metal out of there. That's up on turn 3. The banking there, 19 degrees. You can hear applause from the grandstand, and I believe that's... I'm hoping that's Radonis who has emerged from the car. I think Thomas Cangro. So pleased to say, it looks like all drivers are well. Right, on the car that's 5th on the grid, just didn't get away. Not Knutson, was it? Yes, it was Knutson who just squeezed past against the pit wall. Cangro, unsighted, also collected Nick Ho. Everybody scattering behind. And Radonis... well, you can see there, just never got out of the blocks. And Knutson made fair contact with the wall, but he escaped it. But then it was Cangro. Now, who else was that? That was Mike Rosen. No, it was Niels Trost, who got up onto 2 wheels as well. In all of that, Dirk Schouten had made a really good start to get in front. But that is irrelevant because this is going to be a complete restart once we have cleared this mess up. Nightmare scenario. Just what a lot of drivers fear, a stationary car on the grid. So now, looked to me, I couldn't see the lights there. It looked like Dirk Schouten was very eager out of the blocks there, but that's kind of irrelevant at the moment. Look at that, Alex Ryman taking a wheel on the bonnet. Oh, that's going to wake you up a bit, isn't it? The number 47 car, the wheel bouncing on the front of the car, that wheel flying through the air. Also there was Ziad Geris. And there is the Thomas Cangro car missing a corner, I would say. And the marshals, the very hard-working marshals who do a great job here. So the cars have been stopped in the order they were in. You could see it was Dirk Schouten who had jumped into the lead. He was very eager out of the blocks. Now, whether he was fast or whether Niels Langeveld was slow remains to be seen. Kind of irrelevant at the moment. I don't think this race is going to be restarted in that order. I'm not the race steward, you will be pleased to know. We'd be in trouble if I was. So I reckon they're going to be brought back and will start in their original position, but there's going to be a lot of cars missing as a result of that. Main bit is the drivers are all okay, and that's all that matters. So there's a big sweep-up operation that is going to be taking place. Thomas Cangro, the car there that is side on, he got a 20th and a 13th at Spa-Francorchamps. I think the team are going to have their work cut out to get that back together for a race tomorrow. Domas Radonis, he got a 13th and a 10th at Spa-Francorchamps last time out. We've got the heavy lifting gear in to get these cars scooped up. And again, a big shout out to the Orange Army, our wonderful marshals here at Circuit Zandvoort, who do a fantastic job in all weathers, sweeping, waving flags. And I have to say, at Circuit Zandvoort, it is a circuit that does tend to court controversy. It does seem to generate a lot of drama, and the marshals seem to work overtime here. That's why we love it. It's an old school circuit. The banking, which was introduced in 2020 to allow for Formula One to come here, very much the Max Verstappen effect. very much a demand for a Dutch Grand Prix, and they needed to remould the track. And unless you've walked or even tried to run, as I tried to do yesterday, almost unsuccessfully, unless you've tried to get up the bank in a turn 14, you have no idea how steep it is. It really is quite the track to get up there. But it means that the drivers can go into turn 14, they can nail the accelerator pretty well out of turn 13, and they can give it full beans as they head into turn 14, reaching something like 210 kilometers an hour. That extends to about 252 kilometers an hour as they head into turn 1. The Tarzan turn, and then it's the heavy braking as Domas Radonis's car is put onto the low loader, and the GP Elite guys and girls will be working hard on that. It's going to be burning the midnight oil tonight, I think, if we want to see that car on the grid for tomorrow. They've done qualifying for tomorrow's race already. That's all part of one session that took place this morning. We still haven't found a way to get that out, have we? So I'm going to need more than a pair of pliers for that. That's right. Dial up somebody to come and help you there. That's not going anywhere, is it? So that's up on turn 3. That is the steepest bank on the circuit. That is a degree steeper than turn 14. That is turn 3. There's the Nick Ho car. Well, of all the cars that made the impacts, that one looks to have come off the best, but that's not really saying much, is it? The track sweeper's out. Right, have another look here. And he just didn't get away, did he? Schouten either made an absolute demon start or he jumped it. And I'm looking at the timing screen, and actually car 34 has been noted for a jump start. So Dirk Schouten, although that start is going to count for nothing, the race stewards might have something to say about that. Whatever it was, Domas Radonis didn't get away, and that is a sight that Thomas Cangro will not want to be watching over and over again. His beloved number 48 car getting torn apart as other people piled into it. Radonis, well, it was Cangro who kind of bounced off the number 8 car, didn't he? Saw it at the last minute and bounced off into the path of the Radonis car. That was Cangro getting out of the car. That is great news. And ultimately, that's all that matters. You can replace cars. We can do that. It's the people that we care about. And Domas Radonis looks around, goes, what the hell just happened? And emerges from his car. But good to see them all walking away from that. Great safety here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. The cars built by Porsche are wonderful machines. They are, as mentioned earlier, as we look at the remnants of one of the wheels, a 911 car, Carrera Cup 911 GT3 based on the 992 generation, generating 510 horsepower. Phenomenal cars. 4 litres of naturally aspirated, water-cooled. That's a flat 6 boxer engine. That is Thomas Cangro, I believe, who is just receiving consolation from the Est1 team. Great to have Est1 on the grid. They are going to be working hard on that car. This is the challenge. Krypton factor, for those who remember. Right, that's it. Hit it with a crowbar. That's what, I don't know what that is. I was using that to lift up the patio the other day. Right, got it. Well done, chaps. Good job done there. If precision doesn't work, just hit it until it falls off. That's what I say. That's turn 3. You still have no appreciation how steep the banking is up there. Really good, because when you stand there, as we see the Nick Ho car being hauled from the circuit as well, when you stand there, you see the drivers, some go high, some go low, some go in the middle. The banking on turn 3, giving drivers plenty of opportunities to explore different lines. Nick Ho, who is studying business administration as well, and he'll probably wish he'd stuck to that this weekend with the way things have gone so far. I dare say that PG Motorsport will get that car together. He's another of the many, many Dutch drivers on the grid here this weekend. The local wildlife have found something delicious, having a fight over it. See, the race is always on somewhere on track, isn't it? And, yeah, this is good entertainment. Is that a bit of bread? bread. I don't know what it is. There's a big crowd of people here eating burgers. 1-0 to that bird there as he flies away with it. There's Nick Ho. Just making his way back to the paddock. Hopefully they can get that together. Right, so a couple of cars have been noted for jump starts. One of them is car number 3, Ziad Giris. I said that I thought that Dirk Schouten was noted for a jump start, but the 34 has been corrected to just 3. So all the Dirk Schouten fans, oh no, it is still up there. There's 3 as well. So yeah, Dirk Schouten jump start noted. Also car 12, Mike Rosenberg. Also car 3, Ziad Giris, all noted for a jump start. The new race distance will be 28 minutes plus 1 lap. I have no notification yet when that will be. I think it's going to be imminent because hats off to our marshals. You saw all that mess that was out on the track, and they've been very meticulous, sweeping up as much debris as they can possibly see, because the debris can so easily cause a puncture, cause a driver to cut a tyre, and they've swept that up and done a fantastic job there. Now, I haven't even spoken about the various categories. So we have the overall championship, we have the rookie championship and the Pro-Am championship. So the Pro-Am drivers have a blue cross on the headlights. Pro-Am drivers are made up of drivers who are minimum 30 years old and not competing as professionals in any series during the past 5 years. They will be marked in blue on your graphic. The rookie drivers are drivers who have not competed in any more than 4 races in Carrera Cup prior to this year, and they need to be no older than 25 years old. They are denoted by orange crosses on their headlights. They are all fighting for their own championships. I mentioned at the start that Cobra Powell's is leading the rookie championship from Wolters Veerdris, with Jurin de Back in 3rd place in the rookie standings. In the Pro-Am standings, it's Yannick Ikea ahead of Jules Grau and Mike Rosenberg. The question is, I'm not entirely sure how many drivers have been taken out or who have survived or not survived that incident. We'll find that out in a minute. Certainly prior to this race, Niels Troost was the leading Pro-Am driver. It was Domas Radonis who was the leading driver in the rookie category. I think we can safely say he won't be making the restart. So next in the rookies will be Colin Bernighausen in the number 55. Colin, who's doing double duties in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany this weekend, so he'll have some achy arms when he goes to bed tonight. He's a guest driver though for this, so he won't be scoring points. So effectively what would be in terms of points second in the rookies would be Sam Yongyan. But as I say, it depends on how many drivers have been caught up in that accident. There was a lot of cars that got involved, a lot that had damage. Lovely to see people up on the banking, braving I'm going to say it was pretty cold up in the sand dunes. We arrived here on Thursday, and there were tornadoes in the area. We saw a funnel cloud reaching out into the North Sea. I'm very pleased to say it didn't make land, and we were very pleased about that. There were people rushing around, kind of doubly nailing down marquees. Everything that could be moved was being weighed down, but the tornadoes stayed out in the North Sea, we're very pleased to say, as we see the cars now retaking their positions on the grid. The race distance now will be 26 minutes plus 1 lap. We do have various curfews here. I don't think we're running too close to it at the moment, but this is is it the last race of the day? We're also got Formula Regional on here, so they're after this. So we've got to try and squeeze the Formula Regional by Alpine Race On, which is coming directly after this. Good luck with that, chaps, particularly with the weather looking like it is, because it's getting very grey around the commentary box. So the cars, as you can see, well, it could only be a complete restart, couldn't it? So the cars taking their position on the grid. You can't close up, so if a car is missing in front of you, you need to leave a gap. Domas Radonis, well, he was on the second row, so anybody from the second row backwards could be missing. Robin Knutson, we saw him doing that squeeze against the pit wall. Well, he's taken his position on the grid, so we'd like to think that he hasn't received any damage, certainly in a big space where Domas Radonis was. The rest of the cars just forming up on the grid. I was hyping up Kalle Rovanperä before all this started. Again, great to have the double reigning World Rally Champion, the son of Harry Rovanperä, who garnered rallying attention by starting at a very young age. And Kalle became the youngest ever world champion in 2022. Winning it a day after his 22nd birthday. I can't remember that far back, so yeah, a top draw to him. Scored back-to-back titles by winning the World Rally Championship in 2023, and he's very much evaluating what he wants to do. He's still doing part-time rallying at the moment, but he says, I want to use 2024 for my personal things out of motorsports. There are trips I want to take, there are places I want to visit, but he says, I want to do what I want to do. He says, a bit like catching up with your youth, with what you were doing when you were younger. Of course, you can't really catch up, but when you're a teenager and you're a professional, you always have some place where you need to be and you miss out on so many things. And he's kind of doing that, but also he wants to learn a little bit about circuit racing. Well, learn he has. He's been at the top of the timesheets in all the practice sessions, well, somewhere near the top. And as you can see, he's qualified third, and there's an awful lot of drivers looking over their shoulders at this interloper. He's going to be doing 4 of the 6 rounds this year. He didn't do Spa-Francorchamps. He's going to be missing 1 more round this year that clashes with other commitments. So 4 of the 6 rounds. Right, confirmation, new race distance, 26 minutes plus 1 lap. We haven't had a time that we're due to start displayed, but you get the feeling that is imminent. So we are missing Domas Radonis. We're missing Thomas Cangro, Kel Surprise. We're missing Nick Ho. I can't see who else we're missing. Alex Ryman, if he's in this, he's going to have a heavily remodeled bonnet on that Porsche. We haven't seen that yet. This all helps Benjamin Pack, who had that 5-place grid drop and a difficult time in quali, to the extent that he actually ended up in the gravel trap at the end of quali, brought a premature end to the qualifying session, which is why he's so far back. So he's got a bit of work to do there. In front of him is Sam Yongyan. That's the car that he made very heavy contact with at Spa-Francorchamps. I think I can see Alex Ryman there in the background, but we'll find that out when we get going in a bit. So it's a slightly depleted field of cars that are getting ready to restart this, the 3rd race of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. We have another race tomorrow, again as part of the DTM package. Then we head to Imola at the beginning of July. Part of the ELMS package there. Great to be in Italy. The drivers absolutely love that legendary circuit. That's on the 5th to the 7th of July. Then in August, we're back in the Netherlands. This time we're at Assen, part of Jack's Racing Day, a traditional stop for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux for rounds 4. Rounds 5, we're heading to Austria in the mountains, the Styrian Mountains at the Red Bull Ring. Part of the GT Open package, and then it all comes to an end in the 2nd week of October, the 11th to the 13th of October at Zolder in Belgium, sharing the bill with the NASCAR finale as well, the Euro NASCAR Championship. That's always a great event, and there we will confirm the identity of the champion, the new champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, because the outgoing champion, Robert de Haan, has now moved on to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And well, he was looking good. He was leading the Carrera Cup Germany, start delayed. Well, we knew that. He was leading the Carrera Cup Germany race this morning, sadly picked up a puncture whilst in the race and had to retire. But he is the outgoing Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux champion, very much ruffling a few feathers. Well, you'd expect nothing less from Robert de Haan, would you, in Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany. The Pro-Am champion from last year was Sasha Norden. He is in the field this year, gunning very much for the overall championship. Not had the best of luck at Spa, not that he would expect. I mean, he got some solid results, a 6th and a 4th place, but was hoping for more. But it's a good haul of points. The rookie champion last year was Robert de Haan. Second in the rookies last year was Dirk Schutter, and third was Flint Schuring. Flint, another driver who's moved on to Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany. The team championships last year were August by NGT, who've become D'Ieteren Luxury Performance this year. Right, a bit of juggling going on as the cars are moved into their correct grid position. So I'm guessing the start is delayed because they need to get cars in position. You can see the number 17 on the left-hand side of your screen there. That is Draker Janssen. And very sadly, he didn't get to race at all at Spa-Francorchamps. He had a fairly monumental accident in quali on the Friday morning, and the car was pretty wrecked. He had to take a bit of a visit to the hospital. We're very pleased to say that he is all well and good. So he is making his debut this weekend, and really didn't need that level of drama going on around him. That's a way to wake you up, isn't it? He was right in the midst of all that was kicking off. But great to have him here. We wish him all the best. He's a driver who's making the step up from karting. He was in the 2024 Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, a wonderful series, the winter series that takes place in January, February and March. And places like Portimao, Barcelona, many other places in Portugal and Spain are taking advantage of what in theory is the better weather. And the drivers who take part in Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe have a reputation for going on and doing well in their own championship. So we thoroughly recommend any drivers who want to do well in their individual championships during the summer. Well, they say summer wins are made in the winter. Now, clearly, Niels Troost has got a problem. He's not out of position because they've brought in a truck. So it looks as though he has a problem as well. So I think the delay is because car number 8 is going to need to be moved from the circuit. He's a guesting driver here. He guested last year at this event in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He picked up a 12th place in that. He's also been in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup here at Zandvoort, and was also in Porsche Sprint Challenge Benelux in 2021 and 2022. Right, I said about Alex Ryman, there's an aerodynamic advantage, isn't that? So is it or isn't it? I have to tell you, a few years ago, Bastian Buus, you'll remember him, he made his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and we were at Oschersleben. I think it was his first ever race, and a wheel hit his car in exactly that place. He didn't even back off, and he carried on, and I think he was the quickest man on the track after that. And I always remember that for Bastian Buus's debut in Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany. Alex Ryman will be hoping for something similar. The little aerodynamic aid. Right, I can see people. Oh, here we go. Now, the trolleys are coming out. Have we got an issue? Well, the clock on the left-hand side has certainly got gremlins in the work, and I'm wondering whether there is an issue with weather. Oh, we've got problems here also for Ziad Giris. They've got the splitter off the car. Yes, the wet weather tyres are coming out. So, oh, dearie me, this race, are we going to get the thing going? I'm looking out the commentary box door. Well, it's not raining out in the TV compound at the moment, but clearly the teams are thinking it could potentially be something else. Niels Troost's car being lifted. You feel like you get one problem cleared, and then there's another. It could be last car left running at this rate. So there is work suddenly being done on Alex Ryman's car. Hit it with a hammer. That's good. Now that is a lesson in straightening a bonnet. Now that is really innovative. Stick a wheel in there and smack it down. The only problem now is the catch is not engaging. Yeah, this is where you have to innovate. Well, there's the demonstration of the orange X on the headlights. That is denoting that he's a rookie driver in the Rookie Championship. Bit of extra, well, I'd say extra cooling on the front, but the engine's in the boot, but the coolers are at the front. They appear to have survived that. I'm expecting the gaffer tape to appear any second now. That's what normally is plan C when nothing else works. They're going to try and get those catches down, but you can see that it's been heavily remodeled. And oh, we're going tie wraps, are we? Oh, that's good. Tie wraps are more solid than gaffer tape, screwdriver as well. So I think the reason the teams have rushed out is you will need to get permission for the teams to come onto the grid. I don't think it is actually raining yet. Knutson, well, spoke too soon. You can see from the camera lens there is a bit of moisture. Knutson was out of the car. He's been told get in quickly. I expect if we got a view of the other side of his car, we'd probably see an awful lot of white paint that he's scraped off the pit wall as he squeezed his way through. The team Est1 from Estonia. Really good to have them on the grid in Porsche Carrera Benelux this year. One of the many teams joining in this growing grid, this championship that is a great championship, always produces great racing. Right, 5-minute countdown will begin at 17:20. Well, according to my complex calculations, that means that the race should be underway at 17:25 local time. So that's in about 8.5 minutes. Of course, if we get a downpour, that might all go out the window, but we're kind of hoping that the moisture in the air is going to hold off. So at the moment, the work is able to continue. And the reason we get told there'll be a 5-minute countdown is to give the teams warning. I told you they'd get the gaffer tape out, didn't I? It's to give the teams a warning to get off the grid, because you can't have team members on the grid once we are in the closing stages of the countdown to the start of the race. Right, well, there's lots of other things to talk about. Michelin Star of the Weekend. This is great. This is giving me a chance to get all the parish notices done and dusted. I don't normally get a chance. Michelin Star of the Race. Every event, every weekend, there is a driver, team manager or mechanic or other employee of Porsche Carrera Benelux who is particularly distinguished or deserving, who will receive a €500 voucher for a Michelin star restaurant. And the driver who won that at Spa-Francorchamps was a driver in this instance, was Dirk Soeten. Doesn't have to be a driver, as I said, it could be a team manager or just an employee or a mechanic. I reckon a good nominees might be those who are just assembling, as Drake Jansen rushes back to his car. He's been for a comfort break, hasn't he? A good potential nominee for the Michelin. Well, this is from the commentary box. I reckon Est1, somebody from there who's applying the gaffer tape, they deserve €500 of Michelin star vouchers, don't they? They're doing a great job hanging that car back together. Drake Jansen still trying to start his first race in Porsche Carrera Benelux. Well, he's had a comfort break. I can hear applause. I don't know what that's all about. Yong Yan's got a bit of damaged. There's a lot of cheering going on, so either somebody's just pulled a moon on the grid or there's something that's been cleared, something like that. But the audience here staying on, massive audience, who I tried to get from the paddock to the commentary box. It took me ages. There are so many people here today. A lot of them holding on for the Carrera Cup Benelux race because this series has a reputation for entertaining. There is Ziad Ziad Gires, one of the cars that was under investigation for a jump start. Now, potentially, the cars that were under investigation for a jump start, it is possible that a penalty could be incoming, even though this is a complete restart. I'm not going to start plowing through the rule book because that will send you all to sleep even more than you might be already. So we'll wait just to see what appears on the timing screen. We are about just over 5 minutes away from the attempted start, second attempt of this race. There is Kalle Rovanperä, the driver who has attracted a lot of headlines and a lot of crowds here for this event at Zandvoort. Another one who's having a baptism of fire in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Another award that has been awarded is the Tag Heuer Pole Position Award, points from qualifying, and the reward for that is a Tag Heuer Carrera watch. Quite fancy one of those. So that's what they get for those who become the fastest qualifier. Right, 5-minute board has been shown, so the teams will be needing to clear the grid. You can see we've got quite a few spaces. So at the moment, just those cars that we saw, Domas Radonis, Thomas Cangro, Nick Ho. Now, who was behind Nick Ho? Because it looks like there's a space there as well. Now, Jules Grau, he's out there, so that's all good. On the other side, just looking to see who else we might be missing. There is the heavily modified, get that through scrutineering, Alex Ryman car. Alex Ryman, in the number 47 car, was a bit of a star in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, became the Pro-Am champion with 5 category wins in 8 races, and he was 3rd in the overall championship, and everybody went, hey up, we need to take note of him when he gets into Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. So he is one to watch. Remains to be seen whether the aerodynamics work or not as a result of that. So we have, for those who have stuck with this utter drivel for the last 3 hours or however long it's been, you will be rewarded shortly. 3.5 minutes. Well, it says 30 seconds on the board there. According to the clock, 3.5 minutes before we go green, but hopefully we will be on the formation lap very, very shortly, and we will finally get this slightly shortened race underway. Shortened by 4 minutes. So it's going to be 26 minutes plus 1 lap here at Circuit Zandvoort. A lot of people here. We say hello and welcome to all the guests of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux who join us this weekend. Friends, guests, dealers, great to have you with us. I hope you're going to be entertained. I hope the wait was worth it. For those who are watching online, I know a lot of people are watching online, watching on television around the world. Thank you for sticking with us. I am sure you are going to be rewarded with a great race. The rain is starting to fall. No more drama, please. We want good racing here. Race 3 of this 12-race season. So, felt like a long time ago that Niels Langeveld led this field around on the original formation lap. Dirk Schouten in 2nd place. Then Kalle Rovanperä in 3rd. So we'll have nobody in 4th, because that was Domas Radonis and then Paul Meyer. The local wildlife have decided they've had enough. They're getting out of the way because these things are noisy. I have to say, if you have never witnessed a Porsche Carrera Cup race in real life, it really is a sight to behold, and it is a noise to behold. Right, jump start. No further action. Sigh of relief for all the Dirk Schouten fans, of which there are many thousands. Also Mike Rosenberg, Ziad Gires. The race stewards have said no further action, which is great news because we want to see a proper race without penalties if at all possible. Yeah, they've got a bit of a get out of jail free card there. So I could just imagine it now that all the fans will be in meltdown at that. But yes, no further action on that. So clean sheet of paper. We are getting ready for this race minus a few cars. So on the formation lap, the car's just into the closing stages of that. Of course, the tyres would have got ice cold, sat on the grid. The race marshals are getting ice cold, having to do their aerobics. We say hello to you, and once again, we say thank you for all your hard work. Without these volunteers, of which there are many, we would not be able to go racing, and they do a fantastic job. You can see them trying to stay warm. It is June, but it feels like winter when the wind blows off the North Sea here. It certainly does this weekend. Nothing like this event last year, where we were all sweltering hot, even though it was the end of June last year. We're a bit earlier this year than we were last year. But with the clouds gathering all around, we're hoping that the rain is going to hold off. The cars out of turn 14 once again. The heat hopefully into the tyres and into the brakes. And they will form up on the grid. Great shots here from our production team, looking down on the grid. A race that was due to have started, oh gosh, I was getting on for 3/4 of an hour. It was 3/4 of an hour ago. And now, finally, we're able to get the thing going. It was Domas Radonis who had a problem getting away. He was collected by others, amongst them Thomas Cangro, a big impact for him, and Nick Ho. And now, with the gaps on the grid, the remaining cars, of which there are still plenty for a good race, are gathered. We wait for clearance from the back. The marshal with the green flag, a little bit hesitant there at the moment. Right, now, finally, we are getting ready. Race 3 of the season. Porsche Carrera Benelux is go! A lot of wheel spin for our pole sitter, Niels Langeveld, and once again, it's Dirk Schuiten who leads the pack into turn 1. Kalle Rovanperä taking a tight line into turn 1 as well. Everybody makes it around. It's Dirk Schuiten, the driver who took his debut win in this series last time out at Spa-Francorchamps, now leading the way. Our pole sitter, Niels Langeveld, into second place. Drivers taking different lines. That was Colin Bernighausen going low through turn 3. Kalle Rovanperä into third place. You can see how hard they're trying. A bit of dirt being thrown up into the air. The start is under investigation by our stewards. That is normally our routine. Didn't see anybody jumping the start from where I was looking, but we'll hopefully all good. Now, Kalle Rovanperä with Robin Knudsen, the driver who brushed up against the pit wall on the first start. Clearly no issues there. Paul Meyer in the battle as well. Now, he's putting the pressure on to Robin Knudsen. Keep an eye on Sasha Norden at the back of that queue. Sasha Norden very rapid to the inside. Robin Knudsen to the inside of Kalle Rovanperä, relegating him down into fourth place. Rovanperä, his first ever circuit race, is this race you are witnessing now. So doing a great job. Something very different from World Rally Championship though. So Robin Knudsen sneaking past into that third place. It's Dirk Schuiten leading the way. Niels Langeveld in the second place. Then Robin Knudsen. Then Kalle Rovanperä. Then Paul Meyer. Keep an eye on Paul Meyer. He was very rapid last time out at Spa-Francorchamps. Then Sasha Norden, another driver who is very rapid, will be moving through the pack. Colin Bernighausen guesting in seventh place, and Sam Yongyan. Keep an eye on those two as well. Koba Pauls and Draker Janssen finally get some laps under his belt. Right, Paul Meyer getting stuck in. Who's that? He's got past Kalle Rovanperä as well. So Rovanperä in the traffic, getting mugged by a number of drivers. They all want to line up to have a go at the World Rally Champion, don't they? So Rovanperä being relegated by Paul Meyer. There's Sasha Norden and Sam Yongyan running side by side. Sam Yongyan, his home race, the driver who has stepped up to Porsche Carrera Benelux and turned so many heads with his performances. Now fighting for position, coming up through the pack. Ahead of him, Colin Bernighausen. Behind him, Sasha Norden. There's Koba Pauls as well, the leader in the Rookie Championship. He won the rookie race at Spa-Francorchamps, looking to make his move as well through the pack. So, 23 1/4 minutes of this race. We see that start is under investigation. It is routine for the race stewards to investigate the start. Wondering if there may be some other issues. We'll find out shortly. Hopefully no jump starts or anything like that. We want to see this race completed on the track, not in the stewards' box. Great to see Draker Janssen in 10th place, finally getting some laps under his belt in Porsche Carrera Benelux. Sasha Norden hanging the back end out, picking up some dirt, throwing it up in the air and saying to Colin Berninghausen, have some of that in your face. Right, that was the start. Knutsen went for the inside line and back to the outside. Rovanperä ducking to the inside of Langeveld and trying to get into that spot, the second spot into turn 1 as the rain started to come down, but unable to make it stick. Some great shots there looking at the Tarzan turn, the turn that is the first turn of the circuit. Right, Dirk Schouten leading the way. Niels Langeveld in second place, Robin Knutsen in third, a little bit spaced out at the moment. Then Paul Meyer, Kalle Rovanperä, Colin Berninghausen, Sammy Yongyan, Sasha Norden, Koba Powers, Draker Janssen, Benjamin Pack in 11th place. He's got a lot of work to do from there to keep his championship hunt alive and kicking. Then Wolters Verdris, Jurien de Back there as well, Jules Grau and Alex Ryman with a modified bonnet in 15th place. Last of the points paying positions in the overall race, the leading rookie, Colin Berninghausen. Second in the rookie, Sam Yongyan. Our leading Pro-Am driver, Jules Grau. And then it's Mike Rosenberg, second in the Pro-Ams, taking as much curb as they dare. This circuit here at Zandvoort is a circuit that bites hard. The drivers pushing as hard as they can, negotiating this banking, which we don't get anywhere else, not to this degree. So something very, very different for a lot of the drivers. We never see track limits investigations here because track limits means you're in the gravel track. Colin Berninghausen lining up Kalle Rovanperä to the outside into turn 1. He's going to try and go the long way round. Kalle Rovanperä just keeping a tidy line, shutting the door on Colin Berninghausen. Car 36 under investigation. That's Ralph Poplars for a potential jump start. He is in 18th place at the moment. So he is being investigated by race stewards for a potential jump start. Kalle Rovanperä very much holding his own in his first ever race in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Solid job, but certainly Colin Berninghausen, who's also in his first season. He's a driver who's come through other categories, but arguably more experienced at circuit racing than Kalle Rovanperä. There is Sam Yongyan in the 65 car with Koba Powers behind. Look at all this talent, all these drivers. I keep saying, well, they're one to watch, well, they're one to watch. They're all one to watch. So many up-and-coming superstars and current superstars in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It is one of the most competitive Carrera Cup series in the world. And this is proven by Sam Yongyan in 65 and Koba Powers going head-to-head. That is for 8th place. Ahead of them, Sasha Norden, the driver who won the Pro-Am Championship last year, fancies a pop at the overall championship this year. Fairly clear of them. In Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, to remind you also that drivers get a bonus point for pole position. So it will be Niels Langeveld who gets that bonus point. They also get a bonus point for fastest lap. At the moment, that belongs to Dirk Schouten, a 138.385. He earned that on lap 3. That will give him a bonus point if he can keep that to the end of the race. For those who are fans of Ralph Poplars, the good news is that he has not received any penalty. There will be no further action. So they have taken a look and decided that wasn't a jump start. He will be pleased, as will Huub van Eindhoven, who is his driver coach here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Van Eindhoven, who came through the ranks of Carrera Cup Benelux, now very much a shining star in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany, starts their race tomorrow from pole position. Right, Sam Yongyan is the man who's under pressure at the moment in 8th place. Koba Powers, the driver leading the rookie championship, and Yongyan in the rookie hunt as as well. So this is for championship positions. They are fighting for 8th place. At the moment, advantage Sam Yongyan, with Cobra Powers unable to get par, but Cobra Powers has proven to be incredibly rapid, was so impressive at Spa-Francorchamps a few weeks ago. Part of the talent pool, we have 7 drivers who are in the talent pool in Porsche Carrera Benelux. They are coached and mentored by former factory driver Dirk Werner. There is Drake Jansen. He's had a bit of a moment out of turn 13. He's kept it all going. He rejoins, but that would have been a scary moment. He drops back a whole hatful of positions. Let's have a look again here. Benjamin Pack in his rear view mirrors. Under braking into 13, just going deep into the gravel trap. Well, 10 out of 10 for keeping it out the barrier and for keeping it moving. Many a driver has failed at both of those. He does a bit of grass track as well. Looks like the splitter has survived the experience, so that's all good news. So Drake Jansen now knows that he can't take that corner quite that quickly. He rejoins, but he is now down in 14th place. I was about to tell you about the talent pool. That is 7 drivers up to 24 years old. They are coached and mentored by former Porsche factory driver Dirk Werner, and they have all sorts of trainings, wonderful physical and mental training, nutrition, finding and retaining sponsors, dealing with the media. Good luck with that. Jules Grau having a bit of a moment there. You just saw him just getting a little bit crossed up in the number 77 car. Jules Grau currently in 13th place. So another one of these drivers from a racing family. Then behind him, Drake Jansen, and then the heavily modified Alex Ryman car there with the bonnet that has been reshaped for one day only in the number 47 car, and he's in 15th place. Still leading in the Pro-Ams, or still leading, now leading in the Pro-Ams, Jules Grau, 13th place overall. So good job in the number 77 car. Our race leader, Dirk Schuiten, not enjoying quite as much of a gap as he did at Spa-Francorchamps. Something like half a second over Niels Langeveld. Robin Knudsen in a solid 3rd place. And I have to say, Robin Knudsen, who has impressed this year, both races at Spa-Francorchamps, he finished in 3rd place now, but he's got Paul Meyer, who is 0.8 of a second behind him in the number 7 car. Then it's Kalle Robben-Pera, who has finally shaken off the attentions of Colin Bernighausen in a fairly solid 6th place. Sasha Norden there as well. So with a little over 15 minutes remaining of this race, a lot of it is keeping the car on the track, pushing hard, and that's exactly what Cobra Powers is doing. His rookie championship rival, Sammy Yongyan, just ahead of him. Now, Dirk Schuiten in the lead. Niels Langeveld looking fairly menacing behind him. His win, his debut win in this series, Dirk Schuiten, was so popular. The driver, who has his own YouTube channel, fans tune in. He puts up videos with a point of view of him from behind the steering wheel, with his comments and all the data. It is such an education. I've learned a lot watching the races back on Dirk Schuiten's channel. Always worth a look. Very, very impressive. And when he took his first win at Spa-Francorchamps, he was absolutely jubilant. He circulates around turn 1, a corner that's taken in 2nd gear, about 87 miles an hour, and then up to turn 3. They're building the speed up to 126 miles an hour. Right, we're having a look here at Jules Grau. We said it had a bit of a wobble on. Well, the wobble took him out into the kitty litter. He kept the power on and onto the gravel. And the splitter, oh, that is going to hurt bad, because you can see the splitter flapping loose. Splitter allows for an awful lot of the downforce and handling on these cars. If you damage the splitter, you're going to lose lap time, and that is relegate him down to 15th place into the clutches of Yannick Kakea, who's also in the Pro-Am race. So Kakea will fancy an opportunity to get past Jules Grau, because the handling on that car is not going to be what it was after that little excursion. There is Sam Yongyan. Ahead of him is Sasha Norden. And there is Cobra Powell's overtaking, not always easy here at Circuit Zandvoort. Certainly around this part of the track, around turns, everything between turns 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, quite tricky. It's only up into turn 11, you then get into the chicane, and then it's up into turn 13. And it's out of 13 where they are now, where the driver behind will want to get as close as possible to the car in front, because this is the point where we go up onto that 18-degree banking, get the opportunity to go flat out of turn 14, 210 kilometers an hour out of that corner, pulling something like 7,500 revs, and then full beans along the straight, reaching speeds of 252 kilometers an hour, 7,700 RPM before the heavy braking, the second gear corner, which is turn 1, the Tarzan turn. Then the windy section slightly through to turn 3, up onto the banking they go of Hugenholtz, which is turn 3. That's taken about 100 kilometers an hour. And then the scary bit is out of the banking of turn 3, up to turns 4 and 5. And turns 5, it's a blind crest. And keeping the foot flat to the floor, speeds of up to 220 kilometers an hour in 5th gear as they head up towards turn 6. And that is quite scary. And a number of drivers say it takes a lot of courage to keep your foot buried when you've got a blind crest and you're going that fast, and there's a blind crest and a corner up ahead of you. Then it drops down into turn 7, a corner they've taken a mere 155 kilometers an hour in 4th gear. So a challenging circuit. The gaffer tape is doing a top-notch job. A big good advert for duct tape there. The tie wraps are working well as well. So Alex Ryman in the number 47 car doing a good job in 14th place, holding on. Kalle Rovanperä, well, he's had Paul Meyer, who snuck past him, but I think he fancies an opportunity. He's a quick learner, this World Rally Champion, and you get a feeling, now having got used to driving this car in his first ever race, that he might fancy a little shot at that 4th place. So Kalle Rovanperä has now become the fastest man on the track at 1:38.219, set on the previous lap. So if things remain as they are, Kalle Rovanperä on his debut in Porsche Carrera Benelux could pick up the bonus point for the fastest lap. Suddenly learning, getting dialed in, Paul Meyer has the two-time World Rally Champion filling his mirrors in that 4th place. Paul Meyer feeling like he's under pressure. The 5th place Rovanperä just picking up a bit of dirt, using all of the track that he dared to try and find a route past car number 7 in front. There's Robin Knudsen, the 3rd place car, just in front of him. We have now just 10 minutes left of this race, plus 1 lap. Our race leader is Dirk Schouten. No such luxury as pulling out 6.5 seconds like he did at Spa-Francorchamps. He is just 8 tenths ahead of Niels Langeveld in 2nd place. Robin Knudsen is 2 seconds behind them in 3rd place. Then we have this fight here. 4th place, Paul Meyer was looking quick. It looked like he'd relegated Kalle Rovanperä, but suddenly Rovanperä has found something. Peeling off into the pits is Mike Rosenberg. He was in 19th place and looked to be struggling a bit for lap time, so he's peeled off into the pits. Clearly with an issue, because we wouldn't normally have pit stops in Porsche Carrera Benelux. Looks like he is retiring from the race. The other driver that we did lose is Niels Trost. He was the other one that we lost on that original stoppage. But with 9 minutes remaining, plus 1 lap of this race that started about 3 weeks ago, it's Dirk Schouten who's leading the way, 9/10 of a second over Niels Langeveld. Robin Knudsen in 3rd place. Then Paul Meyer with Kalle Rovanperä for company. Then Colin Berninghausen in 6th place. 6th, Sasha Norden in 7th, then that green and black car, Sam Yongyan in 8th, but Cobra Powell's putting the heat on, trying to find a route past his rookie rival. Kalle Rovanperä taking a much tighter line. You wonder whether he has saved his tyres a bit for the end of this race, because Paul Meyer taking a much deeper line through the corners in the 4th place at the moment. They'll be coming in towards the chicane. There we go. Through the chicane they go. Up towards turn 13 at about 175 kilometers an hour into 13, 123 kilometers an hour coming out of that corner, then onto the banking of turn 14. Right, flat out, Rovanperä, is he going to make a move into turn 1? He's lined up directly behind, picking up any kind of slipstream he can pick up. He looks to the outside, Paul Meyer tries to anticipate it. He can't change direction more than once under braking, but he does a good job defending from Rovanperä. Into turn 2 they come. It is Paul Meyer in 4th place at the moment, up onto the 90-degree banking. Paul Meyer taking the fastest line that he knows now, out of turn 3 towards turn 4, downhill slightly, then it is the blind crest. The car looks spectacular. The car's getting very slightly airborne as they come round turn 6, then it's downhill once again towards turn 7. Still Paul Meyer holding on. Can he hold on for another 7 minutes from the driver who's turning out to be a very quick learner indeed? Kalle Rovanperä in 5th place, monstering Paul Meyer in car number 7 in 4th place. Still Dirk Schouten holding on, but Niels Langerveld has pegged it back a couple of tenths, just 0.607 last time they crossed a timing beam. But it is still Dirk Schouten. Nothing quite as easy as he had at Spa-Francorchamps last time out. Under pressure all the way, but doing what he needs to do to stay in front. There's our leader, 1st, 2nd, there's 3rd. Robin Knudsen running on his own. The driver who owns 3rd place in every race he takes part in at the moment. Then the fight for 4th place. Paul Meyer, Kalle Rovanperä joining the series in his debut in circuit racing this weekend and today here at Circuit Zandvoort. Along the pit straight comes Kalle Rovanperä. Paul Meyer ducks to the inside. Rovanperä once again to the outside. Paul Meyer outbraking himself into turn 1. Rovanperä to the inside and through into turn 2. It's Kalle Rovanperä up to 4th place. You can see that Paul Meyer, you get a feeling that maybe he was driving, looking in the mirrors and trying to look ahead at the same time. He tried to block the inside line, went deep into turn 1. Let's take another look here. You see he defended into the inside, into turn 1. Under braking, then going deep, left a gap on the inside. Rovanperä said, I'll have some of that, thank you very much. And through he came into 4th place for Kalle Rovanperä. Great driving for a driver on his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Dirk Schouten now very much under pressure from Niels Langerveld. So the gap is down to just a fraction over half a second. So Niels Langerveld in only his 3rd race as Cobra Powell's now pressurising Sam Yongyan. That is for the 8th place still, but in the background Benjamin Pack looking to get involved as well. So this 2-way battle is very soon going to become a 3-way battle. Cobra Powell knows that the time is running out. He muscles his way past the number 65 car, Sam Yongyan, out of turn 12 towards turn 13 they come. It took him a long time, but finally Cobra Powell's moves up into 8th place. Now Sam Yongyan will have Benjamin Pack filling his mirrors, the driver who he got up close and intimate with, a little bit too close at Spa-Francorchamps. It was the contact between the two of them, with Benjamin Pack picking up a penalty as a result. And now Sam Yongyan is going to have to defend for all he's worth as he tries to hold off the Benjamin Pack car. There's a replay. Cobra Powell's, he'd been working on that for most of the race, and finally he muscles his way past out of turn 12 in towards turn 13, and car 22, 2nd place in the rookie standings within this race. Our leading Pro-Am is still Jules Grau, despite the damage he got to the splitter. It's still holding on in there, isn't it? He's in 15th place overall. 3 3/4 minutes remaining of this race, plus 1 lap. Koba Powell's now breaking free from Sam Yongyan. In 8th place is Koba Powell's. So Yongyan looks to have the measure of Benjamin Pack at the moment. Can he hold on for another 3 minutes and 20 seconds plus the 1 lap? Dirk Schouten, he's opened up a bad 10th over 2nd place. Niels Langeveld. Robin Knudsen loves 3rd place. Would probably love it even more if he could go a bit higher than that one day. Kalle Rovanperä very much impressing on his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Here comes our race leader out of turn 14. Once again, the race reaching its closing stages. Niels Langeveld in the 2nd place. Doesn't look like he can do anything about it. In fact, he's lost 7/10 of a second on that last lap. So, Niels Langeveld, now whether that was any kind of mistake or whether Dirk Schouten has just turned the wick up a bit, but suddenly Schouten opening up the gap at the front to 1.215 seconds. Knudsen in 3rd place. He is 3.1 seconds back from Langeveld, and 1.2 seconds behind him is Kalle Rovanperä. Then Paul Meyer, Colin Berninghausen, Sasha Norden, Koba Powell's, and Sam Yongyan. There's Koba Powell's in the black and white number 22 car for Dieteren Luxury. Sam Yongyan, and then also Benjamin Packer also racing with Dieteren Luxury Performance in the other of the black and white cars, and caught in the middle of the sandwich, Sam Yongyan for Team Race Art. His teammate is Jules Graul, and Jules Graul in 15th place, who is leading the Pro-Am race. 1 minute and 3/4 of this race 3 of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux here at Circuit Zandvoort, here under the cloud. The rain is spitting. We can get this race to the end, surely, before any downpours. There's Colin Berninghausen, the driver, doing double duties in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany this weekend. He did that. He was also guesting at Spa-Francorchamps at the opening round of the season. Great to have him on the grid of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux out of turn 14. He comes out onto the pit straight. He is our leading rookie driver, so looking for the top step of the rookie podium. As a guest driver, the points would go to Koba Powell's if things finish as they are now. There is Sammy Yongyan, who is 3rd in the rookie race, so he will get a podium if things remain as they are. Then it's Benjamin Pack in 10th place. Then 4th in the rookie race, Jurien de Back in 11th. Draker Janssens come back from that moment that he had earlier on, and he is in 12th place, and he's in 5th in the rookie race. And then Walter Zviedris in 13th place, and Alex Ryman avec aerodynamic aid on bonnet in 14th place. He's also in the rookie race. So 20 seconds remaining of this race. Once the leader once the clock strikes 0, the leader will cross the line and start his final lap. At the moment, Dirk Schouten's heading out towards turn 11, so it'll be what remains of this lap and then one more, and this race will finally conclude. Dirk Schouten, 9/10 over Niels Langeveld, so just doing what he needs to do to stay in front, to keep that 2nd place number 10 car behind him. Robin Knudsen, a long way back in that 3rd place, so no real threats for Dirk Schouten, but he's still got to get it home. It's still possible to pick up a puncture, to have a moment, to find a wet bit on the track. So Dirk Schouten, maximum concentration, looking for his 2nd ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux on the final lap. Niels Langeveld looking for his 1st ever win. His best result so far was a 5th place at Spa-Francorchamps last time out. Robin Knudsen has only ever finished in 3rd place this year. In 3rd place, there's a surprise, a solid position there, and the new to Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, Kalle Rovanperä in 4th place ahead of Paul Meyer. But Dirk Schuiten, the man with the golden helmet, the man who set up his fundraising page and gave the name checks to all the people that donated, printed onto the back of the car, his GoFundMe page. He raised the funds to go racing when he didn't have the funding available. He ran 100 kilometers in a day over the winter to raise money for his season. He loves the racing. He is so passionate about what he does. He wants to win. He's in the position that he always wants to be in, leading the way. Suddenly, Robin Knudsen under pressure from Kalle Rovanperä for third place. We're on the final lap. Our race leaders into turn 13 at the moment. So we've got to fight for the last of the podium positions. Kalle Rovanperä has closed in on Robin Knudsen, but out the front is Dirk Schuiten, who is going to come out of the final corner to take his second ever win in Porsche Carrera Benelux. Niels Langeveld in second place, Robin Knudsen and Kalle Rovanperä. And it is Knudsen who just holds on to that third place. And Kalle Rovanperä, finding something in the closing stages, came so close to nicking the last of the podium positions. But Dirk Schuiten, another win, his second in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. The rest of the cars crossing the line. Colin Berninghausen taking the top step in the rookie race. Koba Powell's in second. Sam Yongyan in third. We're waiting for Jules Grau to cross the line. He does that to win in the Pro-Am race ahead of Yannick Akea. We're still waiting for Ralph Poplars to round out the top three in the Pro-Am race. He hasn't crossed the line yet. Now he has. So Ralph Poplars third in the Pro-Am race. But it is Dirk Schuiten, the driver, who has taken his second win of the season. He won the last race. He's won this race as well. Dirk Schuiten, the local driver, 23 years old, from the Netherlands. He comes from a racing family. His grandfather, his father, his uncles, and his cousins all became champions in racing. How long is it gonna be before he too becomes a champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux? Well, on this showing, not long at all. One of the drivers who started in sim racing at 12 years old, went to shifter karts at 14 and then moved to car racing in 2020. So phenomenal progress in just 4 years. Last year made his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, was fourth overall and the rookie vice champion. As I mentioned just now, set himself a personal challenge, wanted to raise money and challenge himself by running that 100K back in February. Took him nearly 15 hours, but he raised funds through his GoFundMe page. Right, there is third place, Robin Knudsen in car number 32, just beating the Kalle Rovanperä, the NGT racing car in third place. Niels Langeveld for Q1 track racing in second place. And also for Q1 track racing, taking the top step of the podium, Dirk Schuiten. Brilliant stuff. Some great slow-mos there of the cars. Well, we had to wait for it, but it was worth the wait. And I'll tell you what, in the nick of time, because I'm looking out the window and the rain is starting to come down, giving us all a little bit of a dousing. And I think this race, probably, we managed to get it run just about in time before it got really wet. Hopefully, we can bring you the podium. Because of that crash at the beginning, we are running a little bit behind, but we will hopefully bring you the podium in a few moments, all being well. Dirk Schuiten, as is now becoming traditional, climbing onto the bonnet of his car, a two-time race winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. One thing is absolutely for sure, it will not be his last win. The man in the golden helmet, taking his second win, back-to-back wins in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. But he had to really work hard for that one. Let's have a look at the classification. as the rain comes down, Dirk Schouten from Niels Langeveld, Robin Knudsen, Kalle Rovanperä on his debut, 4th place, almost 3rd. Paul Meyer, Colin Berninghausen, Sasha Nordenkober Powells, with Berninghausen taking the top step in the rookie race. Sam Yongyan in 9th ahead of Benjamin Pack. Jurien de Back and Drake Janssen finally got a race under his belt. Good 12th place there. Wolters Viedris, Alex Ryman with a modified bonnet ahead of Jules Graul and Yanni Kakea. Ralph Poplars, Ziad Giris, Mike Rosenberg was a non-finisher, and then those 4 cars at the bottom are all part of that crash that we saw at the start. Pleased to say everybody is well after that stop. There's not can be said about the cars, that's for sure. A lot of teams going to have to do some work tonight. Dirk Schouten, though, on the roof of his car, a 2-time winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. This is shaping up to be quite the championship. You get a feeling this is going to be a championship that goes all the way to the wire. So it'll move Dirk Schouten to the top of the championship, where he was in the joint top with Robin Knudsen coming into this. Paul Meyer has picked up some valuable points. He'll be there as well. Benjamin Packer, well, it was damage limitation, wasn't it? And he's done that all right. So Benjamin Pack picking up a good haul of points as well. But when the mathematicians have had their abacuses out and done all the calculations, we'll let you know probably tomorrow what the point standings are. But Dirk Schouten will be at the top of the championship standings. So as the rain starts to come down, he will make his way up onto the podium. They stand on the scales. It's got nothing to do with Weight Watchers or vanity. It's all to do with minimum weights in the car, and the drivers needing to just register their weights for our race stewards and scrutineers. So there is Dirk Schouten. Oh, he needs to be weighed with his helmet and the Hans device, the head and neck restraining device. So that all adds to it. That's part of it. And there's one of the Porsche team making note of the weights. And then up onto the podium will come Dirk Schouten. Getting used to this winning lark, isn't he? Puts on the Michelin hat. Michelin, who supply us with the tyres for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. So really in the nick of time. The rain is now starting to absolutely pour down. I think another couple of laps and this race, as Toby Shimon, our podium presenter, he's normally smiling. I've worked out how to stop him smiling now, put him out in the rain. Yes, the rain chucking it down. I might just stay in the commentary box until this lot's passed. So I think it is just a shower, but you can see now blowing in off the North Sea coast. Not the scorching temperatures and sunshine that we had at this event last year. And yeah, another lap or two, and this race could have ended in all sorts of trauma. So really just in the nick of time we got this run. So, just waiting for the drivers to make it up onto the podium. And hopefully we can bring you that in a few minutes. We've got Formula Regional Championship coming up after this. Good luck to them. Wet tyres, I think. That's a baptism of fire and water, I would say, for their first race of the weekend. Umbrellas up. You think life's tough? Try being a cameraman at the top of that scaffolding tower in the pouring rain and a cold wind. This is meant to be the summer. Yes, looking down from the perspective of turn 13. Very grey, very wet. But Dirk Schouten won't mind about that, because he has earned himself a top step of the podium. I think the podium is quite a long way up, and it takes a little while to get up there, which is why we're just waiting before we can bring you the podium. So tomorrow we will have the second race of the weekend, and that is happening earlier. at 10:35 local time. We'll be on air from 10:30 local time. So not a great gap, not a lot of time for the teams to be repairing those cars either. So it's going to be a long night for some. Right onto the podium, there is Robin Knudsen, third place. Second place onto the podium as well. Of course, he was our pole sitter, Niels Langeveld. But the race winner, the driver who started, he looks ready to run a marathon. In second place, taking the top 7 of the podium, Dirk Schouten, a representative from Q1 Track Racing as well. It's a Dutch 1-2 on the podium. Double Dutch here at Zandvoort. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Well, the rain is now coming down in absolute torrents as the drivers stand on the podium. Oh, we've got, did they say Anh Nguyen, who's going to come and present the trophies? I think, is that him? No, that's, yes, it is. Anh Nguyen from Manthey EMA. Finished second in the Nürburgring 24-hour race last weekend, presenting the trophies. It seemed like a bit of an honour when they asked him. Now he's like, yeah, just give him out, get back in the dry. So there we go. The 1, 2, 3 awarded. Quick, give it that. There you go, mate. Take that. I'm going inside. Right, you think you're wet now. The champagne's about to start flowing. So, oh, they want photos as well. Right, quick, get the photos done. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and the team winner. Q1 Track Racing man saying, you want more pictures? Come on, I'm getting wet. Right, he runs off for cover. The 1, 2, 3. Now start the celebrations. The champagne is spraying. Dirk Schouten taking another win, a back-to-back win. Race 2 and now race 3 of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2024. Can he do it again tomorrow? Well, it might not be quite so easy. Not that it was easy today, but he's got an awful lot of good people around him. We're going to find out tomorrow morning, 10:30 local time. We hope you join us then for race 4 of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2024. So as the rain starts to come down at Circuit Zandvoort here in the Netherlands, we say stay dry. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.